Hello. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, but I wanted to make a video anyway. I had a recent experience which I found to be telling. I was doing a medical thing, and there were two females in the room. One was bitching about her husband whom she's been having physical confrontations with. Apparently she was forced to sleep in her car at some point. Anyway, I was sitting nearby and listening to how she defended herself and why everything he was doing was unjustified, how he called her to get her back because he loves her, she loves him, etc., etc. I hid my eye rolling and kept myself from jumping in, thankfully. Now, she left the room, and I was alone with her female doctor conversation partner. This was a very intelligent woman. She's a trauma surgeon, well known, well liked, something that is pretty difficult in the healthcare community, and obviously very accomplished. I had heard this woman state that feeding the man with food would make him like the woman. She also mentioned certain things about how men need to be complimented constantly. Now she, the doctor, is Asian. There's a very strong social dynamic behind this idea that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. It's also pretty strong with Hispanics and I think Russians. Anyway, social components notwithstanding, I felt I'd give this woman a piece of my mind. I told her that she needed to compliment the man's work, not him. When he does something, some kind of work, that's when he wants to be complimented, and that he doesn't want to be complimented on being a great person or that he looks good that day. By the look on her face, you'd think I'd just punched her in the stomach. She stared at me blankly like, whoa, wow. She was speechless. Since then, I've given some thought to this. In short, I don't think women see men as human, but rather machines. They think about interacting with men as one interacts with one of those arcade games, where you put a quarter in the slot. It always bothered me how my wife seemed physically in pain when I tried to have conversations about philosophy or science. As I've described in another video, women have an internalized sense of inferiority. Within their security bubble, they try to establish dominance over the beings within that bubble. Now, if we take the idea that women interact with men like interacting with machines, it makes sense that they try to determine their continued dominance by barking orders and seeing how the man responds. Like a pet dog. Do I still own this man? Hey, dog, heel, fetch. The man obeys to get the woman to shut up. To her this says, you are my master. So the woman thinks, feed the man and he will love me. Put the quarter in the slot and it obeys my orders. When I told this trauma surgeon that she should compliment the man's work rather than the man himself, her reaction to my suggestion told me everything I needed to know. She didn't consider the man to be a human, but a machine, which she could push buttons to make it work. Think about it. If I approached you and told you, you look great today, you'd probably think I was either gay or trying to get something out of you. That's what women are actually trying to do. Now, I say the same thing to a woman. She will think, oh, he likes me, or he's trying to come on to me. Amazingly, the female response to this is positive. She actually responds to this. To me, this says that women receiving these types of compliments actually view themselves as intrinsically valuable. That is, women are valuable in and of themselves when they get positive reviews about themselves. To men, these compliments are meaningless, since men don't consider their intrinsic worth to be negotiable. Men are already intrinsically valuable to themselves. I've covered the idea of intrinsic worth in my Problem of Purpose video. As such, women are always trying to prove to the world that they are really, really valuable. Women display a certain toolism. That is, women are useful as long as someone recognizes their intrinsic worth. You can see this in the way women think in the feminine hive mind. I've made a video describing this concept. Women see themselves as tools to be used. Now, the globalized feminine hive mind must constantly keep proving that women are valuable. We see this as women continue to get extra benefits but are never, ever satisfied. It's never enough. And they always want more and more proof that they're valuable to someone, anyone, and everyone. Men are completely different to this. Men don't need anyone to prove that they're valuable. Men want to be recognized for how awesome their work is. Compliment a man on his looks today, and it will likely be seen as a nuisance. Compliment a man on his ability to fix a car or explain a mathematics concept, and you will have a man eager to do more work to get more and more compliments. Why? Because a man's work is his strength. Men see their work as a reflection on themselves. Notice I said reflection. A man's work is not his identity. Identity for a man is internal and can be strengthened by recognition from the broader society. Sometimes negative reviews can affect a man deeply, and he will become depressed or angry. He puts his heart and soul into a project, and then his wife says, "Oh, great, glad that's over. Now take out the trash." Yeah, that really hurts, ladies. The man's work is what he does, and is very valuable to him. The woman's self is what she is. Disregard how she looks, and you're actually insulting her intrinsic value. Insult a man's work, and you are insulting his work, which reflects him, but isn't who he is. You can see how this dynamic is completely different between the sexes. As a disclaimer, I don't pretend to speak for all men or women, but I'm a man, and this is how I see the sexual mental dichotomy. To sum this up, women have a strong identity dynamic, which is defined by the society around her, her conversation partners, and the broad feminine hive mind. Men have a strong identity, which is already internalized, but a strong work ethic, which can be strengthened with positive reviews because men's work is a reflection on themselves, but never defines the man himself. If a man's work is despised, the man will find a different path to satiate a natural need to work and be productive, or he will disregard the negativity and simply continue on as he is satisfied with his own opinion. I found this thought process to be enlightening, and I hope you did too. Thanks for listening.